What is up, everybody? I have got to do a live by myself tonight. So I'll tell everybody here, let me get that brand stuff out of there. I was playing with buttons. There we go. There we go. So welcome, Keith. Hey, Sandy, how are you? Kimberly, Matt, all kind of people. Jarrett, what's up, man? Um, I have got to do a live tonight by myself. So I'm going to end up at some point. I think we're going to have some guests, but I'll probably throw a link out there. If people want to join in. So, but Greg and Bruce have some personal things that popped up. We know this is a busy time of year for most folks. So, they unfortunately were not able to join. I just figured, why don't I just go on and just see what happens? So I probably will only stay on like an hour or so though, just because just getting things done around the house, running the printers, and just how that goes. So, yeah, I know, Jim. I got my big boy pants on. I know. Michelle, what is up? Lee, what is happening, man? So Lee, you might have to help me out, brother. So, but just an update, like around my place, because we always do that. Hey, what's going on? And I can't look over here and say what's going on, to Greg. He's just crazy busy. I can't even ask Bruce what's going on. So, what is up, Grayson? What's happening? Let me see here, David. Yeah, that's for David. Lisa, what is happening? So, Rodney, what's up? Spirit of Toad. Yeah, that's it. Let's just talk bees. But like me, today I actually went over and, well, let me see here. Let me pan this real quick. I'm filling up with honey over there. So that's getting prepped to do some markets and things like that. I think I've got like 100 and almost 120 jars over there done. And tearing your office apart. Oh my, that's fun. But I want to get myself probably 200 to 300 jars bottled before September 9th is when I'm doing the first market. I actually have a sign that I'm going to put in the yard. So, Brian, what is up? Danette, howdy. Is this a different room, DC? No, it's not. It's the same room. So we had to buy a little fridge, that little apartment size fridge there, because we got so many quail eggs here. So literally that fridge is just dedicated to quail eggs. It's crazy. I actually have a sign coming that we can put out in the yard. That way, hopefully we start selling quail eggs. But yeah, it's getting nuts. So with those things, yeah, new little fridge. So, but like I said, though, I want to get probably, if I can get 200 to 300 jars bottled up and ready for that, market. Yeah, Keith, farmers markets are winding down. Yeah, wow. Keith, I did see that you only had a little bit left out of that 50 plus, so that is awesome. Brian, I'm gonna check on that because if I'm not limited to just the honey, then I probably will take some down there with me. Yeah, Straight Creek, Brian, the quail eggs are delicious pickled. The ones that I found out the best so far that I love, like I did some with the beet juice, they turn purple, but the ones that I love the most, it's this recipe. It's spicy quail eggs. You put some jalapeno in it, some mustard seed in that. Oh my God, are those things good? So, 6 quail eggs. So typically they sell a dozen for $5. So that's like the going rate. That's what on the sign that I have for the yard. That's what I have, getting made $5 per dozen. So I've actually got dozen, little dozen packs, and I've got dozen and a half packs also. So, Chris, that is awesome. But that's what's going on around here. And I went and checked. So over in my apiary, and I think pretty much par for the course. like everybody, I'm just finishing up like some summer treatments. I just got my OA done. Um, I am getting prepped for my fall flow. So that said, I went and looked, and I actually need a couple more supers, and I plan on uh, putting two supers on each of my 16 colonies. So I'll have 32 supers out there. I do not expect them all to be filled, but even if I get like half of them, you're looking at, what, 50 times 16. I'd be, yeah, that's it. Yeah, by myself, all by myself. Um, I'd be looking at um, like 800 pounds of honey if I can fill, even part of what I have there. So, um, yeah, it'll be a lot. Now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting that because we typically don't have a fall flow that fills up supers like that. But I'll be ready then in the spring. So I'll end up, you know, with 30 some supers that I can put out now. And to me, that's a lot considering, I'm just kind of like a hobbyist kind of guy. So Loma Vista, Santa Clara. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Wonder what the going rate is for Bantam eggs. I'm not sure, David. I have no clue. Yeah. And John, that's why I'm getting things ready because we've had the precipitation now and typically a couple weeks. Look at that, Sandy. You are something. Um, thank you, Sandy. Um, but usually a couple weeks before that goldenrod blooms is when you want that rain and all that stuff, and that's what we've been getting now. And when I'm looking out there, like I think maybe just the startings of some of the early goldenrod have popped, but we typically are late August getting into September before we see it in my area. So us having rain now, I'm thinking is going to lead to pretty much a decent flow. We'll see though. So Stuart, howdy from Scotland, man. That is awesome. John, you finally hit a dearth there. Yeah. Tom, what's happening, man? Yeah, let me do this. Let me do this. And I know, so I reached out to, I think at some point tonight, Ian is going to jump on just for like 10 or so minutes, 15 minutes. Um, I sent a link out to Brad, and I know some people here that are joining in. Let me do this. And it has been a long time since I've done this right here. So I'm going to throw a link there. And I don't want to sit here by myself and talk all night. It's not me. I'm used to having two other people, you know. Uh, I can't sit here by myself. So that's right, Ohio represent. So, oh, howdy, sir.
Oh, hey.
What is happening? You,
Oh, busy times, man.
you know, I, I think we're going to get overrun by Canadians tonight because your buddy there said that
You
he was
opened the
going to jump
border?
in. Yeah, yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. I don't
Excellent.
know when. He just said when he's finished up, he'll jump in for, a few minutes. And so now seeing you on here, it's going to draw out the Canadians.
Well, I'm kind of the opening act, right?
Is that it? Yeah. Oh man.
Sometimes the opening act is what you'll come to see, though.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't want to see a guy that shows burning boxes and wood stoves and stuff in his videos.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's. Oh, I get it. I was over there when they started their cull and melting things in their wax melter this spring, and I was over there and I saw the pile, and I don't blame him. Uh, he said that it was just an overwhelming job, and I believe it because I've been doing exactly that. I've
Wow.
had a stack in my shop all summer, and I'm still rendering frames. I should
No.
be done mid next week, maybe early next week.
Oh my
And
gosh.
man, I've rendered hundreds of frames. I can render 4 10-frame boxes or three, at least three. I think three, a little more than three at a time. And if I'm diligent, I can do that twice a day. And
Wow.
it's a dirty, filthy, stinky, awful, horrible
Yeah.
job. And I've kept pigs when I was a kid, and boy, this is no less really stinky.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
you know,
It gets bad.
and then
Well,
I can only run about 3 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds, and then I have to kind of boil up the tank,
hmm
kind of drain it off to wash everything down, and then I have to let it cool enough, and then I have to dig it out by hand. That's the
mm,
disgusting part. All that slum gum, digging that
yeah.
out by hand. So I don't
Yeah.
blame him for the fire. I thought about myself. I said to him the other day, I said, you know what? I'm gonna throw in the towel. I'm just gonna have a fire. But then I decided to
Yeah.
soldier on.
You know, like at my scale, I haven't like had much equipment that, has just been bad and I've burned it. But I tend to like, if I have real nasty frames, broken up stuff or whatever, I just throw it on a burn pile at my mom's place and just throw a match on it. And I don't worry about
Yeah,
trying to like scrape stuff and do all that. I'm just like, ugh, the time to do all that and sit
I
there
I,
and
I don't put up with non-ideal equipment really. I'll either take, like, if there's old frames or something breaks beyond repair, it goes in the fire pretty fast.
yeah.
I don't like burning the plastic foundation, so I do what I can to salvage that.
Oh, do you?
Um, like in my melter, I'm rendering off, so I've kind of found a sweet spot where I'm not warping the plastic foundation. So when they come out, I pull the frame out, scrape it off best I can. I'll
Hmm.
pop the foundation out and set it in a pile under a couple of bricks to let it cool nice and flat.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I'm hoping to recover most of that. Wooden frames, you can burn those, but I don't really care to throw the plastic in the fire.
yeah. I'm horrible with that because I just,
Well, sometimes it happens,
yeah,
especially if it gets damaged or something. What are you going to do? I
yeah.
guess should go to the landfill, I suppose, but
Right,
it's no good
right,
there either, right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
And
That is
to me,
true.
that's one of the best things about plastic foundation is I can reuse it if I'm
Yeah,
careful with it, if I don't damage it.
right.
So that's one of my
Yeah,
favorite things about it. I can snap that into a new frame or something. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I was over
yeah,
my in it my main yard today and just checking, how many supers do I have and all that kind of stuff and trying to start organize some stuff. But it's just like I'm kind of glad that I went today because um, I realized I need 8 more supers. So, and I'm going to double up, each of my colonies, my 16, I'm going to throw 2 supers on every one. But in order to do that,
hmm,
I need 8 more supers. And it's like, oh my gosh.
yeah,
So, yeah. But, I mean, it is what it is. And I'll probably, once I hit that mark, I figure I'm not going to go any larger than where I'm at just because it's for my scale. It's getting too difficult. Not unless I like buy larger equipment, and I don't want to
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
You know,
I hear you, and it's all relative. We all deal with
it
that,
is.
regardless of your scale. I run into that. I'm running into that right now. Um, in oh, hey, there's another Canadian.
I'm
How's it going?
overrun by you. Yeah, you do. I
Brian
mean,
opened the border tonight. I don't know.
oh man, and I almost feel bad because I don't have my flag anymore, so I can't like represent. I mailed off my Canadian flag. It's over in Maryland now, so I've
Well,
let
I
you
have
all
mine
down.
behind me, so
I know.
so how are you guys today?
Not too bad.
Doing all
Just
right. How are you doing?
yeah.
Busy day?
Ooh, yeah, yeah, she's going. Yeah, we're good. I just got back from the yards. We have another 500 set, and
Oh my gosh.
we have 400 now that we have pails. strips and patties on, so another 1,000 for that. Another 1,000 to pull, and pulling out 15 drums a day. So we're doing pretty well.
Dang.
Balls to the walls right now. Right now,
I felt
it's high
productive on
time.
Monday. I set 4 escapes. I felt all productive. I thought, hey, I got 4 escapes on.
Ian, I bottled.
Like I was telling you, Brad, like I was telling Brad through messengers there, I said, starting's the hardest part. as soon as I take forever, procrastinate, then I finally start. But the problem is I can't stop once I start. So I got to make sure that when I start, I'm actually ready to go.
I bottled 40 jars today.
That's a lot of work. Yeah.
And you know how I have to do it. My wife looked at me and she was like, can't you do this? Like, isn't there an easier way? Because I sit there and the valve that I have on, like I have the 5-gallon bucket that has the valve on it, but it's one of the ones that drips everywhere. So I have I have a funnel and I ladle it into a funnel every jar. Wow. And it's just, it takes me forever, but this next conference at the expo, at the Bee Expo, I think that's what they're calling it, the Bee Expo. I plan on buying a bottling tank, a heated bottling tank, because I'm done with this, the way that I'm currently doing it.
Yeah, that'll change your life. That'll change your life for sure.
Oh, yeah. 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 I'm striving one day I will be like, Ian Stepler.
I could like that good looking, or like, what do you mean?
Well, no, I can. I'll never hit that level. I'm already on the downward slope there, going gray and getting fat. So I'll never be like Ian, But yeah, I'll be starting out my videos with the wood stove going, showing my bottling tank then. So. Yeah.
I'm just cutting in and out of here. I'm catching half of what you guys are saying, so I'm just going to kick my kids off the internet but carry on the conversation.
Okay. Look at that. He's booting.
Well, I didn't even work bees today. It was a day we had to go to the city, and I stopped in at the big Costco club and I cleaned them out of sugar. And I could only get 1,300 pounds, so I threw that in the back of my truck and I had to come home, so I have to go back again. Yeah, I wanted to, I don't know, I'm trying to convert it in my head into pounds, but that's 29 bags we got. They're 45-pound bags.
Oh my gosh.
And I wanted 44 bags, but they didn't have, so I have to go back on Friday.
Yeah.
Get some more.
Wow.
Yeah,
how many colonies do you run?
I try to target 120, 150.
So you're like Bruce. Yeah, you're like Bruce.
Yeah. Very different, style, because he's doing some pollination and stuff like that. But size, for sure. And I don't know how Bruce does it, because Bruce has got a job. I don't have a job, but I think I'm older than Bruce, so that's my excuse.
I don't know how he does it either. he works full time as a physical therapist, and it's like, I know typically when he's out of his 9-to-5 job, and I'll give him a buzz about something, and I think every single time in an evening when I call him, he's out in a bee yard somewhere working bees. So he'll go straight from his regular job to working bees, and it's like almost every day, and I'm just like, I don't know how you do that.
I don't know how sideliners do it. I just do not know, because I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
I'm exhausted. And you were talking earlier about, I've only got so many hives and I can't run anymore and everything. Well, it's all relative. It's all relative.
It is.
And this time of year, August is kind of the litmus test for me with how many colonies I can run, because I still have to take care of all my colonies. I have to harvest, I have to extract, I have to feed, I have to treat, I have to move bees, right? Hey, Gary. Clean it up.
Ian's going to get sprayed.
Yeah, we just shut the place down. Cleaning it up.
And so that kind of comes to a head, and so that time in August, September, that kind of defines the size of my operation, because I'm kind of
Yeah.
never run off my feet more than this time of year. And right now it's especially difficult because I can throw into all of that I've listed. I can throw in all of this. See this behind me?
Yeah.
My queen rearing went spectacularly this year, and it was good. I tried hard at it because I had a big loss this winter and spring.
Mm.
Ian and I kind of played the same game this year, and so I have
Yeah.
100 of these little guys to take care of, and now I have 100 of these little guys to get ready for winter. And
Wow.
so adding into all of the things I just mentioned, now I've got that 100. So I'm going to be putting in well over 200 bodies into the shed this year,
Oh my.
and I've never put that many in. I've 160, I think, is my top before now.
Wow.
So I'm panicking a little bit
Yeah.
and trying not to drop the ball, you know,
Yeah. I mean, that's
Quite the
because
almost like,
I don't
contrast
want
from
to
the
make those
spring, though.
mistakes.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just I'm looking into
Beekeeping.
my colonies right now, and I would say right now is the first time through the entire season I've actually seen some optimism down in the nests.
Hmm.
Right now, they're just starting to peak, and everything looks fantastic. I'm thinking the same way as you, Brad. I'm looking at my hives. I'm going to say, I'm thinking to myself, "Woo, I'm going to have a lot of hives coming out of the shed next year," because I focused so much down into my nests because my nests were terrible all year. So I just put more
Mhm.
attention down there and more work, more building, and then we just built more and more and more every time we had a chance
Mhm.
because we're just demoralized off the start, and now we have just like an armful of hives we're going to be putting into
Mhm.
winter, and they're going to come out in good shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way they look right now. I'm looking at the winter nest, and according to my calendar, right now is when my bees start creating the winter nest. These are the bees that will start emerging
Yeah.
in September. So the next 3 weeks is high time for building bees. I'm looking down the nest, and that queen has not even thought about stopping. She's laying there's
Wow.
open brood all through. I'm putting patties on there, just devouring that protein. I still have a little bit of pollen coming in. Like I run out of pollen about this time of year. I'm dried out, so I'm just having little bits coming in, and they're just devouring the patties and building that nest. It's going to be a wall to wall bees. It's just amazing. I love it. Yeah,
Wow.
I finally got
Yeah.
out of the rut.
Yeah. Yeah. This is that time of year. I mean, especially here too, because I always tell people like right now, like once we get past the second week of August and then September, this is like our critical time where what happens now that'll dictate more or less, how we go through winter and the number of colonies that we have come out of winter. So I've learned that hard way.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
How
your
many do you
options
have going,
diminish
Brian?
every day, and the implications of your missteps are
oh yeah,
amplified every day.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Ian,
it's
I
stressful.
think probably Ian, when you started watching me, I had like two or three colonies. So I was up to 21 this year, and
21.
quickly realized it's too much just for my work and everything. So
Mhm.
I've done a couple combines and I've sold a couple, and I'm at 16. Um, so that's kind of like a sweet spot for me right there. Now I plan on setting up one more colony. It's just so I'll be at 17. I've got that Apame, that little 7 frame nuke that I loved that darn thing. Overwintered a colony in that little 7 frame. And that's what I want to do is I've got some queens coming from Jose. Um, and one of those queens, I'm just going to pull a split off of one of my larger colonies and just set that up. But 17 is where I'll be at. And my plan, and I told my wife this, so I got to stick to it because she'll remind me. My plan is for next year, any losses that I have, I'll fill those back up with splits. And I want to stay right at the number I'm at. And then I'm going to probably build like a
Yeah.
nuke bench or something and just sell off some nukes. I figure that'll supplement a little bit of cash. It'll help me out, May, June, probably, get some cash as far as bee equipment and things like that. But I just, where I'm at, I think it's a manageable number. I can, have a decent number of colonies that produce for me. I've got good looking bees, so why not capitalize on it, So quite the change from a couple years ago.
No, that's
Are you
exciting.
still able
That
to sell
you're doing
nukes this time of
exactly.
Sorry, Ian.
Sorry, I got a bit of a delay going on here.
Yeah, you do. I'll try to respect that.
We got to. Once you get up there into Ian, although Brad, are you north or are you south of Ian?
I'm northeast.
Okay.
Of Ian.
Well, I don't know what's going on in Ian's area.
So.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Ian.
I think he's on
just
Spacelink.
saying. No, actually, I'm on our farm internet. I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah. So I'll just try to. It's about a 3-second delay. It's very awkward, but I was just saying, the bees. I always find the bees. I tell beekeepers this all the time. The bees always tell you what size of operation you're going to be running. So you try to respect that. I'd get up to 1,600 or 1,700. Whack, right back down to 1,200. The bees are trying to tell me to stay at 1,200, but I keep creeping up. I'm 14. I'm going to be 1,500 going into the shed now, and just watch. They're going to slap me back to 1,200. Not until I was just talking to corporate, and they have given me the okay. Well, not quite yet, but it looks like I might be getting an addition for facility expansion here, so that's going to help me quite a bit. And that'll be able to allow me to get up to that 1,500 mark where I want to be. So
nice.
Until I get that facility built, I don't think I can comfortably hold 15 comfortably, just because I'm out of space all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't get my work done.
How many, like your shed, when you overwinter them, what's the max that you fit in that shed?
I could put, it's pretty crowded. I could put 1,500 in pretty easy. I put 16. I could probably put 1,800 in there.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of airflow is what I use.
Yeah.
But my problem is more so through the production season, like right now, is when I'm cycling the boxes through, and it's a matter of congestion, and I can't get enough work done because we're so congested all the time. I can't cycle things through quick enough to be able to get back out to the hives and get the work done when they need to get worked.
Mm-hmm.
So by adding space is going to relieve like an hour or two of work every day. It's just me sorting things back and forth between trailers, and it's just endless work. So it relieves some of that work to allow me to then to get out to the yards where I need to be and to run a crew, just to make it easier for the guys, so I can leave them alone and just tell them what to do more. So they can stack, they can sort, they can do all that kind of stuff. And that allows me to separate another crew out to the yards to get some more work done.
Yeah.
It's all about facility. It's all about what you're able to handle, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's, man, I mean,
like you say, with your bottling system you have going on right now, when you buy another bottle like this tank you're talking about, that's going to allow you to get up to 21 hives. So it's, it's the same thing. You just buy the facility, and it allows you to get the work done a lot more efficiently.
No, because even
ask Brad about that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You pick away at the pain points, and every pain point you pick away at those pain points, and every pain point that you get rid of, now there's another one. It's something else. Like there's always going to be that one thing,
Yeah.
I look at my old 33 frame extractor, a radial extractor, and I think that takes me forever. The spin times are long, the loading and unloading is long and everything, but I have to look at that logically. That extractor is not my bottleneck, so I can't come down on it. I can't say, oh, I need to spend a whole bunch of money on a fancy extractor. No, if I solve some other problems, then maybe, but it's not the problem to solve right now, because it's going to do absolutely nothing for me if I solve that problem.
Yeah.
So it's always the pain point. Look at the bottleneck, and facility is one of those things. I battle that too. I've got a couple of really nice buildings, but they're finite size. and you can only do so much.
Right. That's what I did. I think I started doing that in my setup last year because I looked at, okay, with my, number of colonies growing, where was the first bottleneck? And I only had a little 3 frame extractor, and I thought I need a bigger extractor. So when I got the bigger extractor, then I looked at, I'm like, all right, I need an uncapping tank because when the extractor's running, I'm sitting there like this, staring at it, and I didn't have anywhere where I can prep the next round. So I got the uncapping tank, and now I'm at the point where if I had something where I can store, a greater volume of honey, then I could just keep it going, and there will be no bottleneck. At least I think. Like you say, though, I'll probably get an uncapped, or I'll probably get this heated bottling tank, and then another pain point is going to pop up, and I'm going to be like, "Oh, darn it!" So, but it's.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
always
it's
going to
hit
be
and
that
miss.
one thing that defines is the pace setter, right? I remember, I
Yeah,
think Ian said one time that the uncapper in your honey house sets the pace for the entire
yeah,
process, right? It's just
yeah.
how fast can that uncapper process. Everything else keeps up with that, either keeps up with that or is moderated by that. And so there's always going to be that. You can't say, darn that uncapper, and put a whole whack of money into solving that problem. And it's kind of like, oh, well, now, we got something else that's setting the pace, and it's really not that much different
Hmm.
pace. So you got to
Yeah.
always just look at that thing and say, yeah, that's the pace setter. We're
Right.
good.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly right. I considered actually at one time buying 2 extracting units to run side by side because I wasn't getting enough honey extracted throughout the production season. Because I was pulling honey and then we were extracting and pulling honey, so we were going every other day, or pull honey 2 days and extract another day, and we weren't just getting enough done. So I thought, well, if we have 2 extractors, we can get twice as much done through the extracting days. But then I figured, well, why do that when I could maybe tap into more manpower and just keep this extractor going all the time? So that puts me out in the yard all the
Hmm.
time. So then I split
Hmm.
my crew. That is a huge step for me, is to be able to split that crew, because now I'm delegating responsibility to somebody else and I'm walking away doing something completely different. And it just, after I was able to take that step, and now I'm running 3 crews. I have the honey house going every day, every day, every day. And
Nice.
I've actually, I'm running school kids on that. And I've taken Carrie out of the honey house because I need her in the yards. We've had so much trouble with her brood nests. I'm putting her where I need her, and that's fixing up all these colonies. And she's done a fantastic job. I mean, these colonies are just brilliant right now. So I've had her going, and I drop a kid with her anytime she needs some grunt work done. So I have that crew going. Then I'm doing my work, pulling the honey and just cycling things through the honey house and overall management. So it just uh, yeah, manpower is the other thing to consider. You can have the facility and the equipment, and then you need the people to be able to run it, and you need the
Hmm.
right people to run it, and it's just one of those things that blossoms into a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
That's
I
what you need.
couldn't. I couldn't
You need a carry.
imagine.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Well, send me Carrie. I'll get some work done over here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying that she made some good queens for you. They're laying now. That's a good time.
Yeah, I've got some numbers in. So started out, she grafted 30, and she wasn't on home turf, so she got 26 takes out of 30. It was my grafting tools, my setup, my builder, all that kind of stuff. She was picking the larva. That's how where she came in.
Hmm.
And so one of them didn't emerge, so we're down to 25. And I believe I've gone through them all, and 4 of them didn't mate. So 21, and the ones that are laying, they're gorgeous. Man, are they gorgeous queens.
Nice.
And they're laying like shotguns. They're just spewing eggs everywhere.
Wow.
It's just
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful.
that's exciting. Yeah,
So
those will be your best
yeah,
hives next spring.
yeah,
These late ones,
Hmm.
those fresh queens. Yeah, as long as by the sounds of it, they're going to build
yeah,
a nice, decent little nest going into winter.
Ian,
yeah.
this is the very first year And well, this is my 7th year. This is the very first year that I'm ever going to replace queens at this time of the year. I've got some queens coming,
Okay.
so I'm going to go through, and I actually have a couple queens that this is their 3rd year. They're from 21, and I think it's just time that I need to, yeah, and they're still laying, so I'm like, they're still doing good, but I don't want to go into next year with a queen that'll be working on its 4th year. So I'm just going to go through and selectively pick colonies where I think it'll benefit the most. But I've always heard, though, that late season queens end up that next year, it's just gangbusters. So, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's one change in my operation this year that I'm doing is I'm tossing in those late season queens. So
Do you know, Brian? Do you know if they are 3 years old, or like, do you paint them?
they still got white dots. So I've
Okay.
got 2, and I've what I've done each year is when I do my splits, I'll move the queen, and some frames over. That way, you kind of do it's like a false swarm or whatever you want to call it. And this now is for those 2, it's their 3rd location in that yard. I just move them, and I've been managing like when I see that they're starting with cups and any cells, I smash them down and try and manage them to keep them. And I've been doing that just to show people, yeah, you can keep queens for longer than a year. Now, 3 seasons is kind of for me. That's like I don't want to push it and go into a 4th season with them because I don't think I think it'll probably cause more issues next year if I have a queen that's that old. So I'm just gonna take care of it now. So
Yeah.
Brian, do you have
Pinching that's
plans
probably
to
gonna.
perhaps
Or,
next year get into a little bit of grafting, perhaps raising some queens? Any
you
plans
know,
there?
I would love to, but it just all depends on my work because I travel
Yeah.
for work sometimes, and
Hmm.
I that's the only reason why I haven't now. Like I already have like grafting tools. I literally have everything to do it. It's just I have not been able to because when I'm out of town for work, if I had cells that were going to be emerging, I could be gone for 3 or 4 days and then they're sitting there. So that's the only
Is
reason
that
why I haven't.
an irregular schedule that you really can't predict?
It is just because the work I do,
Yeah.
I'm an independent contractor for what I do. So, it just all depends on my assignment. Like now, um, I got an assignment that's about an hour away from home. So I could have done some this year, but I don't know why I didn't. I should have done a couple just, just to try it out and see the process and everything. But I don't know why I didn't. But I'd like to learn it just to learn it. It
Okay.
never hurts.
Yeah, highly recommend it. Um, I just think it's absolutely the most gratifying part of beekeeping for me. You know, uh, I get pretty nostalgic about it, really. When I open a mating nuke and I see eggs, I look
Yeah.
at that and I think, you know what? This is an entire bee colony that didn't exist before the work of my hands, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This would not have happened. This is a living entity here, and this is going to contribute to the world. This is going to produce.
Yeah.
This is going to make a honey crop, and that I just can't get enough of that. It's checking mating nukes. I think is my favorite thing. It's like Christmas morning. Every little box you open up, it's what's in the box, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a lump of
Yeah.
coal, but
Yeah.
there's a bar of gold in more boxes than lump of coal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well,
I'll
Ian, I
pause enough to
know,
let Ian jump
I know, Ian, I know you're
yeah.
you're short on time, so
Yeah, and apology. Very awkward with the delay. Is just terrible. I find it very awkward. So I apologize for that. But it's a pleasure dropping in here. I have to go for a campfire. I promised my kids that
That's awesome.
I would get off work early and drink a couple of beers. So I think I earned it today, anyways. But we should, yeah. You know what? I'm not going to. I'm not heading down to the Bee Expo this year. But maybe
that's
if
not
Cayman
acceptable.
has it the following year after that, maybe. Like I was telling Cayman, he said, "Ian, you got to come down here." And I said, "Cayman, I'm not a year after year speaker." It took me. You realize it took me a week to recover from that last Hive life. Just so many people and so much. A person like me, it takes a lot. It just drains energy from a social type energy, right? But at any rate, maybe if I make it down, not this year, but maybe if I make it down the year after, we'll make sure we stop for a beer.
Definitely. And the location of the new conference, it's only like 5.5 hours for me. So it's a lot. It's a lot closer. So like this year, I think it's on Thursday. They have like 1 to 5. There's that short little day. I'm not even going to get a hotel on Wednesday night just because I'm just going to leave my home at like 6 in the morning and just drive down.
Yeah,
5.5 hours is like, I think I'll probably make one pit stop and get a Dunkin' Donuts or something, and that'll be it. Next thing I know, I'll be in Louisville. So, but yeah, definitely. I mean, if you go down there, we'll definitely have to sit and grab a beer. So,
yeah. Okay, I'm going to drop off.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you guys.
Good talking to you, Ian.
See you, boss.
Let me do something here. I have not done.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to monopolize there. Ian's time was short,
I don't care about that. Yeah, you know me. I don't care about that. You
guys want to hear from Ian, not me.
Oh no, there we go. No, that's fine. That's fine. So there we go. I did something right there.
Yeah, Bruce. I cannot recommend it enough. Bruce says I'm finally going to give Queen Ring serious try next year. Do it. It's just so. Hey, it's Buckwheat Bob.
Buckwheat Bob, ladies and gentlemen.
See, I truthfully, Brad, I should have tried my hand in it this year, because even like if I was in Cleveland, like I'll typically stay in Cleveland. Like if I'm working back to back to back, the hour drive back and forth, it sucks. Cause like there's some days like this Saturday, I got to be at work at 6 a.m. So if I were to stay at home Friday night, I'm leaving at 5 a.m. just to get there at 6 a.m. and I'm working until like 5:30, and then that drive home. Days like that just they suck. So
I have an idea for you. And
win the lotto.
I highly recommend you jump in. Well, that's different. Sure, yeah, do that. But as far as Queen Ring goes, do jump in, try it, but try it with zero expectation, right?
Yeah.
Just graft a bar, set up a builder that's just kind of set up some kind of a builder, graft a bar. See if you can make that schedule work. Like just try to work around that schedule, because there are certain points in that schedule that you can fudge. You can say, I can't make it. Let's do it a day later, or let's do it a day earlier, or whatever. There's a few points in that schedule you cannot fudge. However, it's not all absolutely regimented. And there's other ways besides grafting too. I always tell people that you don't have to graft. I think grafting, once you kind of get it, is the easiest, and it gives you the most flexibility, gives you the most options as far as what you're going to do with those cells. But it's not the only one. So if you absolutely have something against grafting, then there's definitely different ways.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll leave you with. Try it with zero expectations. Try it without any plans to succeed. And then you'll find out, like I say, where those pain points are, right? You'll find
that you
process, you'll realize. Yeah. See, I put no expectations on myself, so
yeah.
Are really low.
What John says here, he was going to graft this year, and Greg talked him out of it. because like you said, there are other ways. And if you pack out some colonies and they start ripping out some good cells for you, cut them and drop them. You know,
Mhm.
I didn't see
Oh, yeah.
that process
Yeah.
until when I was down at Greg's, and I was just like, I'm thinking that's ingenious. You
Mhm.
know, let the bees do the work instead of you doing the work. So
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the OTS system. OTS system it's great.
I've
In
never tried that.
context, in
Yeah, I've never tried that.
recommend
And
I tried it.
and
recommend.
what Steve's getting at there, that
The lid
Nicot, or however you pronounce that,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never tried that. I know about it. I know the theory behind it, but personally, I have never done it. So, have either of you two?
That's a viable system too. I've looked at that a lot. I bought one. I tried it once, and the queen got out, and I just kind of shelved it after that.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of went on to grafting. But I think it's a viable system. Nothing's perfect. It has its own struggles, right?
Right.
Going back to that hive every day. Well, she didn't lay in it today, and then you go back to the next day. Well, she didn't lay in it. And I watched a very long video of a woman who uses that system, and she says, you know what? Some queens just won't lay in that thing. So she would leave it in there for quite a number of days, and then she'd just take it out, move it to a different hive, and put a different queen in it, and then she'd lay. So there's nothing that's perfect. Um,
We're hijacking your stream tonight.
so there, it's all the pain points that you can put up with, kind of really
Yeah.
is what it comes down to, and I think grafting really is the most flexible way, and certainly if you want to make more than one or two queens, it's really the way to do it.
Right. Well,
And
if
it's the
I
most
can learn it.
popular, so you get the most help. Yeah, Bob's been learning it, had some success. It's great, and I'm no master. I'm just. That's why when Carrie was here, I said, "Can you kind of audit my system?" I've been wishing since I started grafting that I can just have Carrie here to just look over my shoulder and say, maybe you should do this differently, or I see your problem there.
Mhm.
So it was really
How
good to
how
have her
long has
do
she
that.
been working bees?
I don't know. She's worked for Ian as long as I've been following him, which has been 9 years.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I
a
tell you,
long
she's
time.
probably a valuable uh, person to have at Stepler Farms.
Yeah.
You know,
She loves her work. She's one of those people, she loves to work hard too. She loves
yeah,
to work long hours and hard work. She loves it. And yeah, you know what? And she's the sweetest person. She is a total sweetheart.
yeah,
And smart. Like super smart.
yeah.
How many
You
queens do
don't,
you have coming, Brian?
huh?
How many queens do you have coming?
I know what should be in there, but what actually shows up are two different things.
Okay, let's put it this way. How many did you order? Because I know how that works.
Yeah,
You told me already and told me what's in the box.
I think there's 8 in there. So, and I plan on doing a split and then requeening some others.
Are they coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah, I got my email, so it was my confirmation. So, and I've never done that at this time of the year.
Me
So, I've heard so much about like these late season queens that, I've heard one of the benefits of the late season queens, and this is just what I've heard, is that they don't have as much of a swarming tendency in the spring.
Well, they also don't have a season of laying under their belt. So when they take
Right.
off in the spring, they should really do good. I'm hoping.
Right.
So one of two things down here. Either I'm going to look like a total rock star in the spring, or I'm going to look like a schmuck. So one of the two, right? So I've got 50 queens that I've ordered, and then the a little bit coming in. So it might be Bob 100 by the weekend.
Oh
Now there'll
my.
be 50 little ones, right? But it'll be possibly Bob 100 by the weekend.
Bob, I've had a lot of schmuck moments. It's okay. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, but when you do it on YouTube for everybody to see,
Yeah.
I usually hold the video until I know the results.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't look at as much smuck. Here's the video.
Russell
your
there
stuff is
asked
live.
how I'm going to requeen, and my basic is I'm just going to pinch my older queen and let it go, overnight, and then just go and check them. But I can't imagine that I'll say I can't imagine, but they're probably going to start building out some cups. I'll just smash those cups down, install the mated. So
You just use Brad's zombie system.
The zombie system.
The zombie system. You take the old queen and put her in a nuke, and then you requeen the new one, and that way you can always harvest the brood until she just is out the pasture, right? Like the retirement home of Queen
a lot
Bee.
a lot of equipment.
I've
it's
got
still a lot of work.
It is, and I've got enough nuke boxes that I could do that, but it just
it's pointless this time of year.
Yeah,
that's what you do in the spring, not now.
Yeah,
I forget you guys
have that worked out this year. It doesn't always work out. It worked out this year better than any other, and I think I know why. It's because of the numbers. Because I had such a rotten winter, because I had so many colonies that just did not get it this spring, but we're still kind of laying. I had a lot of zombies this year. I moved a lot of them over to the discard pile, let them kind of show me what they could do, and some of them really showed me up. And I'll tell you, that group of zombies, they produced every frame of brood and bees that I used for my cell builder, and every frame of brood and bees that I used for my 100 mating nukes, 100 plus mating nukes. I didn't use one bee from my production colonies for my queen rearing operation this year. Isn't that amazing?
Just out of your nuke.
And I didn't plan that. That's just the way it worked out. I
crazy.
just kind of did whatever. And I was able to pull all of those resources out of those discard pile hives just because I had empty boxes that were sitting in a pile anyway. I thought, hey, we'll put some bees in them. And look what they did. And now I've got brood coming out of my ears. I don't know what to do with it.
Wow. So it's going to be like...
So it really worked out this year.
We're going to see like Brad 200 very soon. Brad 2, and then next year we're going to be like Brad 200.
Yeah, Brad R.I.P.
Oh man,
Brad laying on the ground with a heart attack.
Yeah, you're going to be hijacking Carrie.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I mean,
Carrie go? I don't know.
Yeah. She's got. I don't know. Have you seen my duct tape?
And then she shows up on one of my videos
with a chain on her ankle.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll be chained in the apiary.
You can't get her back, and she's here forever.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm running into the same thing with you, Brian, and I'm not even working out of town, right? Go to work during the day. By the time you come home, it's like raining or the sun's starting to go down or bees aren't having it or something. And
it's hard. Yeah, it gets hard. So
this year I'm getting overrun with beetles too. So it's Brad 200 in 2024 new t-shirts.
There we go.
There you go. Some merch for your store there.
Yeah. Up here, that's one thing that I can say I'm thankful for is that we don't get the beetles like you all do down south. Because, I'll open I think I said not that long ago when we were talking about small hive beetles, I went through the 14 colonies that are, at my mom's place, and I maybe saw, and this is counting all of them, I maybe saw 40 small hive beetles across every every one of those colonies.
I don't know. I had about 400 in that one yesterday. It seemed like on my little short video. I mean,
So why do you think that is, Brian? Why don't they thrive where you are?
I think our weather. I think we're getting a little bit. We're getting a little too far north, and I think they just don't. They don't survive the winters. If they're, I've had a few survive in some colonies throughout the winter time, but if you kick them out, I mean, they're going to freeze. I just think it gets too cold. So
this is a bottom board. I don't know if you could be able to see it very good. Those white
That's
spots.
disgusting.
What? Oh my.
You need to kill that with fire.
Wow.
And yep, so it's that hive is no longer. So
I would have taken my blowtorch, and just I'd run my blowtorch over that thing.
And
Absolutely.
they kind of they knock all the pollen out, and then the pollen gets in the bottom, and it's almost like soil for them. So they lay that larva in there, and then the larva just go around in it. So it's
total buffet for them then.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And you'll find beetles underneath in there as well. Grown beetles, probably laying more or something.
Yeah,
but, yeah, it's not.
And I'll tell you, probably another reason, just thinking about it, why I don't have as many small hive beetle is this year I've been transitioning all of my inner covers. I've been getting rid of them. I don't really.
Oh yeah, so you don't have that space in there.
Yep.
Well, I did that. I started doing it is going around Swiffers, and I had some Reflectex that I got last month probably, and finally got out there and started cutting that. And it's pretty easy. I never did it before, but it's pretty easy when you got propolis on the edge. You just stick it to it, straight to the edge of the box, and cut the thing on there. So it worked really well on the.
Thanks, Bob. I never thought of that. I'm trying to muscle this stuff in the shop and cut it the right size, but that's a great idea.
Just stick it to the propolis and roll it out and cut it right at the box and put the lid back on it.
The one roll that I bought of that stuff literally is the width of it is perfect. It fits right on an Apiary. I don't even have to trim the sides of it. I just cut the length.
Yeah, that's the same as what I got.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And here's an even better lesson. Well, I don't know. It's something I learned today because I just put it on there. But because I did not have Reflectex on those, there's propolis on the lid and propolis on the box. So when I put the lid on it and pull the lid off, now the Reflectex just sticks to the inside of the lid.
Oh.
So it's just like an insulated lid cover now. I don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been always going to experiment with running a few T50 staples through that Reflectex onto the lid, just so that it just kind of stays on the lid, because the thing I don't like about that stuff is it blows around, and now you got something else to take care of, and trying to position it when you put it back on and all that kind of stuff. So if you staple it, I actually saw a guy here in Manitoba did that. He stapled it to his lid, and so it just goes as a unit. Then you wouldn't do that, of course, with beetles, right? Because then your beetles are going to get up in there,
right?
But
they don't go anywhere. So. Well, that's why I put that Reflectex on there, because I figured if the lid's bowed even just a little bit, then the Reflectex is at least stuck to the propolis on the top. And
I wonder though, if you would staple it down here, I wonder if the bees would, the edge, I wonder if they would propolis that edge to seal that off.
I've seen a bee. We got a lot of pine sap and stuff, so propolis is not a problem down here. And I've seen them literally, like I've taken, I've had a box, let's say, and the introducer, but I've had it out a little bit so they can just come up on it and come out like that. come up on it and come out like that. And they've literally propolised from the box to the entrance reducer there.
Yeah.
To just make it how they want it,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw them propolize an entire entrance one time, like an 11-inch entrance, 3/4 inch high on the front of this box. They propolized that all but maybe an inch of it. Just an incredible wad of propolis through that, across
Wow.
that entrance. Just amazing.
So I know bearding has to do with the heat, right? But part of me, and I've watched some different videos like with Hivegate and stuff, but part of me thinks down here that they're bearding to plug that entrance up to keep pests from coming in and out of it with their bodies. They're just using like a body shield and blocking as much as they can of it to keep moths and beetles and whatever from going in. So
yeah, who knows?
Just a hypothesis, though.
Yeah. Bob Dunn.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got some hive gates.
Yeah.
But in talking to Kyle with the hive gate, he said that Fred Dunn actually had them installed incorrectly in his video. So if you're looking at the other one, because these are designed to be right under the cluster of brood, and Fred uses slatted racks. So he had the bottom board with the entrance, and then he had a slatted rack over it, so the cluster can't dangle down to it. And design, so, which he said he talked. This Kyle Atkinson is the guy that created that. But at any rate, that was just something he had pointed out about the video. But
yeah, that's interesting. David says here he stopped adding vents onto his long langs because they were propolizing them, and they did that to mine. They propolized them all up, and on my Apamaze even, how they've got the little discs and it's got the little vent option. Those darn things are propolized completely shut. Like every time I go to open them, it's, you got to sit there and force the thing because they've propolized the whole darn thing shut.
They've done it to my Lyson top feeders for my polyhive. It's got the it's kind of like a man lake where they come up on the outsides and come over and get the syrup on the feeder, and then they can go back down, but it's on both ends. And on the top of that, it's vented, and they propolized the whole vent across the side, even though it had a 2-inch poly lid on top of it to seal it off, and the lid was plugged, so there should not have been any airflow. The only thing I figure is to keep pests out. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, they pretty much, they know how much ventilation they want. I learned that a long time ago. They'll pretty much, they'll let you know what they want. So, yeah, Bruce, thank you so much for that. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. So, I have not been watching any comments, gentlemen. So,
well, I try to, but I kind of get like the squirrel, and I'm half blind anyway. So I'm sitting here trying to read them, and then by that time,
when I'm looking away, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading the comments.
Tonight is I see Steve Steve bought honey from me and bought honey from Bruce, and very different. Yeah, it's that always amazes me in the difference of the honey. So, in this year's my spring harvest, I've got 3 different shades of honey, all from my spring summer harvest. It's crazy. I look at it and I'm like, I looked at the one bucket and I'm like, did I mess up and grab a fall bucket? Because I keep like a reserve of fall honey, because that's what my wife and I like the most, and just people in the family. So that bucket is like the family honey. And I'm like, did I grab the wrong bucket? And I look at the lid. I'm like, no, it's marked this year, But it was crazy to me, just the difference in same exact time of the year, but, whatever they got into. So Russell got some of it too.
I planted that buckwheat. And oddly enough, the last honey that I pulled is very dark.
Oh, is it?
Smells so good, but it wasn't. I didn't make a ton, right? It was just something to give the bees some forage to get out and do something. But I got roughly all together probably about 60 pounds of that honey, and half of it is going to be Carolina Reaper honey. So it's going to taste bad and it's going to be very hot as far as buckwheat honey. So, but it's gonna be interesting. So when you did your Reaper honey last year, did you dry your Reapers before? Yeah, didn't you do Reaper honey last year?
I was going to, and then I ended up not.
Okay.
I got lazy.
I haven't ever used the dried pepper method, and I bought 24 dried Reapers that are in 2.5 gallons of honey. So gonna see how hot that makes them. Probably pretty hot, but not as hot as Brad up there.
That's got to be like a Canadian thing, They're ripping, I just get ripped on, like, I don't have Ian's looks, and Brad kind of got his lean going there, got the swag going.
You miss all the haymakers we toss at each other after the streams most of the time.
You can't see off screen. I've got
some of the stuff we can't say in the show.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks this is a true comment from Brad, but I'm paraphrasing some of the words. So I said, "Oh, I got some of this buckwheat honey," and I said it doesn't taste like crap as much as everybody says, because it's probably blended with some other things. So he says it only tastes kind of like crap.
It tastes like something that has crap in it.
Right. So
not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. That's why it's got hot peppers in it now. So, but
yeah, it might be a good waste of peppers.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Well, it's Reapers, so it should, right, Brian? It should be hot, so hot that nobody can taste the honey anyway. It's just gonna burn.
Yeah,
burn the rest of it. Just burn your taste buds off.
I don't like certain flavored honeys like that. I don't like. Now, what Russell just sent me, I love that stuff. When they're flavored like cinnamon and stuff, I love it. But certain things like that honey, like, to me, I don't know. I don't mind hot, spicy food. But like to have honey that's mixed with like Reapers and stuff.
Well, you got to sell it in a small jar, right?
But I don't want to take a spoonful of that stuff and enjoy it right now, and then tomorrow morning I'm sitting there
you get to enjoy it again when you're colostomy there.
Oh man,
it's the gift that keeps on giving. But stuff like that, I'm not a big fan of stuff that's that hot where it just is not, there's no flavor or taste to it. It's just heat. That's not my thing. But there are a lot of people that will just get it because it's hot. Because it says Carolina Reaper on it or something.
Yeah.
So.
I see somebody's in here mentioning Show Enough.
Show Enough, Shogun.
And somebody said, where is David? I believe said that is Jason from the Eastern Shore. That's all of you. Are not Jason from Bohemia Bees. You are Jason of the Eastern Shore.
That sounds like a Viking name or something.
Yes. Yeah. He's not talking right now either. You notice that? What's he doing? I think his mouth has been glued shut.
Is he muted?
I'm getting the echo off, so I don't have to hear it 50
times. Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, he was just sitting there like...
What's up, Jason?
Yeah.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh,
living the dream.
Yeah,
I actually make Reaper honey.
You did make Reaper honey?
I've made it for about 4 or 5 years now.
Do you use dried Reapers?
So I have my proprietary blend of the dry, ground fine powder, and then I have a dried Reaper. And the actual dried Reaper really doesn't do much other than create an object inside to kind of agitate or stir the honey around a little bit and move the powder through. And that's pretty much how I make it. So I take usually an 8-ounce jar, because I've had people ask me make larger quantities, and I have. I've made a 2-pound and a 1-pounder before, but typically I keep it to an 8-ounce jar, and I have I'll have to let you try some next time I see you.
Who is buying
That's really good.
A big jug of Reaper honey? I mean, that's someone that's
make you one?
brutal.
Not me.
Let me know. I'll make you one.
That would be brutal. Yeah, I'm. This is totally for resale purposes only, sir.
Okay. Well, see, I can't sell it because I don't have a licensed commercial kitchen in Maryland. I can only make it for friends.
Right. With the love offering at the end.
I mean, if I were to, receive said bucket, and if I were to sell it at a market, I would probably be able to make a donation to Bohemia Bees.
If I remember, I'll make a couple jars up when I see you on the 16th.
Yeah, and then I can take it with me, because I'm doing a market.
What's 4 ounce? What's the limit you can do on a plane without checking a bag?
Oh my gosh. I used to know that because I flew literally every week, and it's been like a year since I've flown now. I don't know whether is it 2.5 or is it 4 ounces? Let me see here. Limit on
Brian's is 4 ounces.
On a plane. 3.4 ounces.
3.4?
Yeah.
That's a crazy size. It's got to be a metric size.
Yeah. So, 100 milliliters.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, yeah, you're allowed 3.4 ounces or smaller sized containers that fit in a 1 quart sized resealable bag. So, however many small, like if you had the little 2-ounce jobbies, however many of those you could fit in a quart bag.
If I can jump off here and jump back on, and I'll relocate down to my shop, and I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay.
Like a few minutes. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm looking at the prices of that powder. That powder's insane. You'd have to charge $100 a bottle. I mean, it's like
if you
$dollars for 5 ounces, or
if you were able to make it yourself, that'd be the thing. But I gave up. Like I used to grow holokias, the ghost peppers, and I grew some reapers. And like the thing is, when you grow them at home, you can take them to another level of hot, just because you can control how much you water them. You can control certain factors. And I learned that a long time ago when I would grow jalapenos like mad. It was all about the water. And when you can control it so that the plant is like struggling, it's still producing fruit, but it's struggling, you're concentrating those oils in those peppers. I had jalapenos that were so ungodly hot that I could barely eat them. They got that hot. And when I did that, like with my ghost peppers, I got one day, and it was the first time I grew them, so I didn't know anything about them. And I took one, and it was all green. And Yasmin, thank you so much. Catherine, thank you for yours earlier as well. And I took this ghost pepper, and the puppy's going nuts. and I, the kids were there, and I bit it because I wanted to taste it. It was my first good size one, and it was nothing. It was like a little sweet pepper, and I'm like, man, this stinks. I went through like starting them from seed and growing them inside and transfer them outside. I went through all this stuff, and then a couple weeks later they turned orange. And same thing. I thought, oh, I was hungry for a pepper, and I walked out and I grabbed one. I bit the entire pepper.
It grew up on you.
Let me tell you, I was leaning forward because sweat was dripping off of my chin. My kids were cracking up laughing because literally my eyes were tearing, face was beet red, and I was just like, this is not fun, So I gave up on a lot of that hot stuff. But you could, Bob, I would guarantee if you got reapers, and like if you're making a powder, you'd have to take the seeds out. But if you dehydrated them and then got like a mortar and pestle to really smash down,
right,
guaranteed you could probably make some powder. It would probably take some trials, but I guarantee that you'd be able to.
Well, I got 24 dried reapers and just chopped them up. I didn't and put them in the honey and let it sit and do its thing.
Yeah. I like my honey just straight though. So I saw like Russell earlier. I liked that comment. If I could find it, I would highlight it. He said that my spring honey was so good that I should enter it in a honey competition. So wish I could find that comment again. I'm used to it though. I'm used to that honey. So I don't know. I prefer though, for around my area, I prefer my fall honey just because it's got that, it has more of a rich flavor. So, I even missed, Terry is here. Yeah, I wish I could find that, but oh well. So, and Bob, I do have some buckwheat honey.
I've got a jar that I've had for like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
It's just sitting there like, yeah.
I hear buckwheat honey is better in the jar.
No, I actually like it because I love black licorice. Like I'll literally devour that stuff. I like that, the old school black licorice. Like you'll go to Cracker Barrel and get it there. So that like
we can't be friends. You just said you like black licorice.
Yes, I
love
it.
You like black licorice too?
I love licorice.
Yep. So for me, like Jarrett, Beehive Homestead, he actually gave me a jar when I was down at his place. He said, I got something for you. And when he handed me the jar, I took one look at it and I looked at the color and, I was like, oh, is this what I think it is? And when I opened it up and just, tasted it, I was just like, oh my God, and I was like,
licorice doesn't taste like a pig barn. And, buckwheat honey.
Oh, I love buckwheat honey.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Everybody
say
send their buckwheat honey to Brian.
Yeah, send it to Brian. I sell a bit of it. I sell some of it. But because there's always that guy. It's really kind of funny because we go to a market and we got all our beautiful light clover and wildflower honey displayed and whatnot out, and you can see the older guy. You can see him across the market, and you catch his eye, and he comes over and he thinks he's gonna give you a bazinga, and he says, "So you got any buckwheat honey?" And I say, "Yeah." And so guess what?
Spirit of 1957.
He's got to buy it. It's like I could ask anything I want for that jar of buckwheat honey because he thought he was going to pin me down because I didn't have any. Yep, buckwheat honey.
we
literally, a lot of the
literally,
older folks love buckwheat honey.
We don't get it here in Ohio. Like at least in my area, we don't get it here. I don't know anybody that really plants buckwheat up here. So yeah,
but not up there. But
yeah,
I just cast a bunch of seeds and it grew up, and I mean, it's exciting to watch to see if it would do anything.
Yeah.
And it did. I mean, it grew. Bees got on it, and just a little bit of darker color.
Yeah.
My honey's really pretty light most of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is noticeably darker, so it's just mixed in. So it only kind of tastes like crap, right,
Yeah.
Brad?
So last year, the farmer guy where I have a couple hives, he put in as a cover crop, he put in buckwheat. Just, he wanted just to try something, and there was a reason. Like, he explained it into what nutrients the buckwheat pulls to the soil, and then when he was going to till it, he put in soy this year. So he said it pulls this and that, whatever that'll benefit the soy. And you know how farmers are, like, they got everything all, planned out for, however long. But the buckwheat seed that he put in, he couldn't get it from his regular, supplier. And the seed that he got was just from this everyday person. And I think, I don't know how many acres he put in, but I think he maybe had 10% of it, end up grow, and it really wasn't that much, and it didn't do anything. It was a shame, because he went through, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, man, if these hives produce some like dark, if we get some buckwheat honey, I was looking forward to it, and didn't do anything. So it was a shame. I've been in that room where Jason is showing us. It's just a camera. So all we get to see is that right there.
Yep,
I have
right.
been there.
Bunch of honey.
Yeah. So what is he doing? He's doing something.
I'll show you how I make my Reaper on.
They had some good looking swarm lure there behind you.
I know, right there. All right.
Yep.
I recognize those.
Reapers.
You can see my face, right?
Yeah, wearing PPE.
Yep, that's what.
That's a Reaper.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Fully
The one
dried
pepper
up.
challenge.
Eat it.
I got these bucks.
Eat it.
No. What's
Everybody.
bad is I don't know that is that bad. There's still some capsin in it.
I'll
This is
super
the
chat
stuff-
Brian
this
if
is
you
the
eat it.
stuff that's-
Yeah,
What's
see
that?
there. Brad's gonna super chat me if you eat that
I'll super
pepper.
chat Brian if you eat it.
Thermonuclear.
What?
Nuclear barbecue.
What?
Nuclear crab. I had those when I was in the Navy. Just kidding.
Nuclear crabs. Bazinga.
So this is the secret ingredient right here, right? And I gotta go. I'll be right back.
I want to see him eat one of them.
I just lost 5 subs with that
I just
with that
lost 5
comment.
Oh my!
The
I actually
That's awesome.
on someone else's channel. This was during the pandemic thing. I actually ate this. It was this like challenge. It was called the Tube of Terror, and they're peanuts that are coated in crystallized capsaicin, and it's like 6 or 7 million Scoville unit. And oh, I was done. I ate like 20 of those peanuts, and I woke up in the middle of the night, like buckled over. My
How many
abdomen
Scoville
killing
was
me,
it?
and huh?
How many Scoville?
They're like, here, let me look it up, because they're like 6 million or so. It's Jason. They're peanuts that are coated in crystallized capsaicin. So you're eating pure capsaicin. So let me see. Tube of Terror challenge.
Tube of Terror, right?
Yeah, that's
Right
what
back.
it's called.
Hey, just make sure you don't go to the restroom after handling that pepper barehanded like you did.
Okay. So,
You had to put gloves on to go to the restroom.
so right here, oh my, it says from Johnny Scoville and the creators of the Death Nut Challenge comes this new challenge, the Tube of Terror. Although the name might sound like a 60s B horror movie, the contents are no joke. Big, crunchy Virginia peanuts coated in pepper dust and 13 million Scoville capsaicin crystals. So 13 million. It hurt. Yeah.
Did it hurt immediately or only later?
Oh, I would literally say within like, it was seconds. Literally, my mouth started like burning, and we had a challenge going. So he would eat one, I'd eat one, and we each ate like 20 of them, and I was done. I mean, it was very bad.
Did you win?
No. I mean, I forget what we.
No, you always know if you won on something like that.
It was like a bragging thing, more or less. No, I mean, it wasn't like a bet. It was just he had reached out to me and was like, "Hey, would you do this?" And I'm like, "Sure," because we had done stuff before where we ate like ghost peppers on lives just to be stupid. And, you know, we did that one chip challenge as a joke. I ate that and I'm like, this is like a joke. It lasted for like a minute and then was done. I'm like, I could get habanero sauce and it'll last longer than that. You know, spent like $15 on a Dorito, you know? So
did you say that it was like 4 to 5 million?
the Tube of Terror?
Yeah.
13 million.
Jeez. Because I don't think a Reaper by itself is only like 3 or 4 million. I think.
I'll put it into chat what it says. Oh, it's here. Well, let me delete part of it.
All right. Well, here's how I make it while you're watching. Pour half a bottle of honey. My honey just harvested recently. Have the bottling tank. Okay.
There you go.
Hold on. See if I can do it higher so you can see this. Let me prop this up. Oh, please.
Yeah, right here's that thing. 13 million.
Jeez.
It was very bad. It was very bad.
Nope.
So
Got that higher.
let me
higher.
He's looking for his funnel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
There's something to set on
Trying
this
to get
car.
higher so you can see it.
So well, we're gonna see it. I'm not gonna ask questions. We like have it going on right here.
I'm showing you
This is a treat.
how you get to do this and how much you need.
Almost need like background music playing.
Oh,
That's it.
It's kind of like Apis.
That's it. And that's probably a lot.
So that's all you put in that?
Yep. And then I break the stem off there. I take my Reaper and drop my Reaper in. And then I'll be right back.
Fill it the rest of the way with honey.
Huh. Yeah.
Don't take much, right?
It does not. It does not.
Oh, and then you just fill it. Huh.
I do this for a good minute or two.
Yeah.
It doesn't mix as well because it's honey, as you can imagine. It doesn't.
What if you take
Now, that becomes like it's more of it's more symbolic. It doesn't add any more heat to it. That powder adds all the heat that you need. This just becomes like the worm in the tequila bottle is all it becomes.
Right.
Showpiece.
And you see, because now there's an object in there, every time I turn the bottle, you can hardly see it, but it's dragging around all the heat, no matter where I turn it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so what I'll do is I'll take and I'll fill this bottle, and then I'll set it like this and let it sit for a minute or two, and then I'll come into it and I'll be like,
Oh yeah.
and it's just, and then the longer it sits, the hotter it gets, because
Huh.
any little moisture left in that honey, pulling that dry powder granulars into it. That stuff is not
John.
a happy brown starfish. It is not.
Happy brown starfish.
Actually, I'll be honest, it's really good. I like it.
Well, you just lost 5 subs on that one, Brian.
John, I'm gonna have to use that next time I gotta go. I'm gonna look at my wife and be like,
Brown
I'm gonna go make a happy brown starfish.
I think if it looks like a starfish, you're doing it wrong. I'm not sure, but
Oh my.
All right. All right, Brian. How many people you got watching?
What is there? 124? Yeah.
oh wow.
Come up with
We
a
just went
hashtag, and I'll give it away.
Oh, well, here, hang on. Let me.
I know what it is. Hashtag brown starfish.
Yeah, there you go.
Brown starfish.
Giveaway tool.
Boom. There you go.
All right,
It's in
here,
there.
hang on. I gotta
That's
share
a 1
something.
pounder. I don't sell 1 pounders. I sell 8 ounces. So this is a treat. If you get this bottle, you've got a treat.
That's it. Hashtag brown starfish.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Do you see what happens when I get cut loose and I don't have to, I'm not with my regular crew.
We bring you down. I know.
Yeah, I just go all,
I like
go all
solo.
crazy.
You're
I like,
hanging in the
I like
dread.
solo, Brian.
I like solo, Brian.
Hashtag brown starfish. So everybody comment. Now I do have. Now we could be talking about actual starfish because I have one in my tank over there. It's a brittle starfish. So yes, this is an ocean chat, but comment hashtag brown starfish if you want to be entered into a giveaway and win that bottle of hot honey that oh, look at that. I'm going crazy there. That Jason just made up. That's crazy. He even got the little sticker on it. Look at this. Yes, I like that.
40 people already.
Yeah.
There's no way I
I
win.
don't want to. I've washed my hands twice now, and now
No,
I have
like
little
Brian.
itches that I don't want to scratch because that powder is so fine that it gets it just somehow gets where it gets. And I
Yeah.
forget that I have it, and later I'll sweat and I'll go like this and wipe my brow, and it'll burn. It's that hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at what Lisa says.
I actually like that method you just did for doing that though, because then you don't have to you can just do individual bottles. You don't have to do a batch.
Well, honestly, the longer it sits, the better. So if I'm going to be if I'm going to sell this or give this to do, to people, or if I'm going to make any, I'll make it and then I'll let it sit for I don't know, a month or so. Sorry.
We got 49 people. Well, I got a comment. So you're going to look at some craziness right here for a second. Hashtag brown starfish. So I got a comment on it. Now we're up to 52. So do you say we spin it?
Give it let's hit 60
53.
some. If we can get 60.
60. Let's go up to 60. All right.
Let's do
Hashtag brown.
6 for the partial. It's the partial number of the devil because it's so hot.
Yeah, we're up to
Evil number.
55. Well, people might not want it though, 100,
Okay.
131 people now. 55.
That's when you surprise your friends when they come over. Hey, I got this honey in from Maryland. Want to try
I
some?
will say this: even if you don't like hot and spicy things, Bruce, even if you don't like hot and spicy things, I like this a lot. Like you can put it on chicken, pizza, anything. Like it's really good actually.
Bring a jar of that in September, but make it September 15th.
Well, you tried it last year when you were here at the
Did
Beekeepers.
I?
Yeah. And it was good. Everybody liked it. It was a little warm, a little hot and spicy.
Oh, okay.
But will it make you start to glisten?
No.
I mean, I'm glistening right now because it's so damn hot in this room.
Well, yeah, but I thought you glistened every day of the week, Jason.
I glisten because I breathe.
We're up to 61. I think I'm going to spit 63. I think I'm going to spin it. 63. Darren hesitated to enter. Yeah. We're up to 63.
That's my lucky number. Hit it. Hit it.
All right.
Here we go. Who's going to win?
If it lands on me, I'm going to crack up laughing. Come on. Do it. Do it. Ooh, Edward. Oh, wow. Well, how do you want Ed to get in touch with you?
Well, just email Bohemia Bees with the fact that you were a winner and give me your address and I'll ship it to you.
There we go. That's awesome. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Stan
Edward.
Gore is on here. Stan, what's up, man?
Hey, Stan.
What's up, Stan?
There we go. That's awesome.
I
Jason,
want to give Stan some props right now, if that's okay.
do it.
Stan is largely responsible for me getting into the YouTube world. We were on, I can't even remember, were we just on the Facebook forums, Stan? And we got visiting there and got to know each other a little bit. And Stan said to me, I think I did a video or two, and Stan said to me, and this was back in 2017, as I recall, he says, I want you to make more YouTube videos. And I didn't really have the wherewithal, equipment, and everything. Stan shipped me a handycam that I could use for making YouTube videos. And so my early YouTube videos back in 2017 and thereabouts were done with a handycam that was sent to me by Stan Gore for free.
That's
And
awesome.
I've always been so thankful for that. And I don't know that I've ever thanked him properly for that. So anyway, every time I see Stan, I just think, you know what? That guy's responsible for kind of dragging me into this obsession that's YouTube.
Yeah.
I would echo that too, Brad. Not dragging me into it, but he was in it early on when I was trying to get into it as well.
So basically,
that's awesome.
Stan is responsible for you being here tonight.
For me being here tonight.
See? That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jason, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, I can't believe I haven't had time to get on tonight.
Yeah. I know, and I said I was only going to be on a stream for like an hour.
Well, you're in our world now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go until the next day.
Yeah.
Anybody that comments the brown starfish at this point, yeah, it's suspect at this point. You're just commenting it.
Well, that's coming from Santa Claus Beekeeping.
I know, that's right. That's what I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I will not comment anymore about Santa Claus Beekeeping. Santa is not going to be a speaker at any said conferences. It was all a joke. So
I see.
It's a subject that sets people off, isn't it? I got the joke and took it at that. But
I actually had a couple people private message me, like coming at me because of that joke, and I'm like, well, if you knew me at all, you'd understand that was a joke, and I'm not being serious.
Obviously don't know you at all.
My eyes are brown for a reason, you know. So
I'll give you a hint on my next video, Brian, that I'm working on besides the one that I still have to edit from Greg's.
what's that?
Here's the hint if I can show you
Good
something.
night, Bruce.
Yeah, here's your hint. Good night, Bruce. Hold on, my mic over here. Here's your hint, everyone.
Is that a brown star?
It's not a brown
see
starfish,
it.
Brad.
Was that a brown starfish tank?
Keg.
That's a whiskey barrel.
A bourbon barrel.
Bourbon
I'm
barrel.
gonna try it. I'm gonna try
What are
to
you-
replicate and make bourbon barrel honey. We tried it
Really?
last year at the conference. That was this. I'll give them a shout out.
Huh?
Did you guys tried this, right? You all
No,
tried this? You guys didn't try this at the conference?
Jason. I was only there for like 10 hours,
I'm trying to get it in the picture. There we go. There's the name of
and
them.
I don't even remember like half of the time when I was there. It was like a blur.
Now this is brandy aged. This is brandy aged honey. And what they
Really?
did,
I was going to say
they
that, Brian.
basically got an empty barrel, filled it with honey, rotated it every few days, and then emptied it, screened it, and bottled it. And if you have an empty, really freshly poured barrel with bourbon or whiskey or what have you in it, it's going to pick that up into the slight notes of it within the honey. So that's the plan. I'm knock on wood, it will work. But who knows?
You'll be able to pick up some Jack Daniels barrels and stuff in Kentucky.
Yep, that's right.
Like an hour and something odd west is Buffalo Trace Distillery.
So Angel's Envy just recently partnered with a larger honey producer. I can't think of the name of them, and they're making a bourbon honey as well.
And right there,
There you go.
well, used
Yeah, but-
barrels.
Matt, do you know how much a used fit a standard barrel? That's a 5-gallon barrel.
That'd be
So that I got off of Etsy from a company that does it. They
Yeah.
basically, and the gunner just got a full-size barrel, I think it was.
oh my! Look at that right there, bourbon barrel buckwheat honey.
Oh, there you go.
Oh man!
Well,
What about
mine's
bourbon
not going to be
barrel-
buckwheat. Mine's not going to be buckwheat, but it'll be the same kind of honey you just saw in that.
What about bourbon barrel lanternfly?
I could wait and harvest that, or I could, because I might get some. I don't know if I'm going to get the pure lanternfly, but I could get a hold of Hickory Hives and see if they got, a 5-gallon bucket of lanternfly honey.
Yeah, I bet bourbon barrel lanternfly because I liked that lanternfly when I tried it at your place.
Very smooth.
I'm hoping that they like come my direction a little bit. Like
You
they've
can have them
been
all,
seen-
Brian. You can have every lanternfly that we have.
they've been seen in Cleveland, so I'm surprised that they're not here because we're southeast of Cleveland. So it amazes me that they have not made it here.
Spotted lanternfly honey.
Yeah, I actually liked that stuff.
It's so good because it has.
You should just put a name on it. Poop Goop. That should be the logo.
It has
good.
It has a honey start, but then the finish is like it's like smoky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It leaves sort of an aftertaste. It's not bad. I think it's pretty darn good, but
Yeah, I actually liked it. Yeah.
someone had a lot of glucose in their honey this past year.
How,
good.
how hard is that jar?
It's creamed honey now. It looks like Vaseline.
It's good still.
Yeah.
Still good.
Yeah. I tell you, Jason, the honey that I get, if it sits longer than 6 or so months, it's it's crystallized. So it's just
6 months. That's like a long time in my world.
well, and
They don't
it'll
even
be
do
solid.
targets
My
up
jars
there.
will be solid. So, but now I've even had some of my spring harvests that I just harvested a month and a half ago. When I went and looked at the buckets and I was going to bottle, took the lid off, and they were starting to thicken, and I was like, man, it's only been like a month. So
Yeah, there's a
but,
lot of variables there.
yeah,
My honey, because of the nectar sources, actually stays liquid a long time for this area, and
huh,
it's maybe a couple of months,
yeah,
sometimes longer, depending on the nectar flow. But
yeah.
you get canola
My
honey, it's weeks.
wow, my fall honey, it's typically darker. It's like I've had some fall honey that is not quite like solid black like molasses or like the buckwheat honey, but it's pretty darn dark. That stuff doesn't crystallize as fast. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a firm believer that it's not as much the nectar source, it's how clean the honey is, and clean not in bad, but clean. So these are entries for a honey contest that I did 2 years ago, and they've never crystallized, right? And that's because when I put this in here, I'm going through multiple screens to get as clear as possible because they put up a light against them and they look for imperfections and dust and all that. So the fact that I've removed the particles of dust out of these, they'll probably never crystallize.
Huh.
You're exactly right, Jason. I know in packing plants, that's what they do for liquid honey. They'll pasteurize it to kill any yeasts and whatnot, and then they highly, for example, I think they were saying that they filtered
600,
it to 4 micron.
600, I think.
4
Someone just
microns.
asked, what was that, Brad?
4 microns for the
400
liquid
microns?
honey. No, 4
Oh,
microns. Like
wow.
super. There is
Wow.
nothing in
Wow.
that because any particulate is gonna grab that crystal and propagate.
Wow.
Right? Hey, Todd.
Hey, did I win?
So exactly that. But nectar source plays a huge role too because it's the
Yeah.
glucose fructose ratio, right? Is kind of what governs that. But you're right. To filter that so finely is kind of what they do to keep it liquid.
Huh.
You're right. The fructose and glucose. I have a jar of my first honey I've ever harvested that has separated. If you ever have a jar that has the crystallization at the bottom and then the honey at the top,
I have
like
that.
separate,
I have
and not
two.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's because that's your heavier fructose nectar honey, and your glucose honey, and glucose will crystallize a lot faster out of the fructose glucose. That's why it does that.
Doesn't really.
I have 2 pints
Fructose,
that are sitting in a window downstairs that are exactly like that, and I love looking at them.
So this
I
is
have a
like
jar.
this is someone's honey. This is this Tootsie or whoever I got.
Yeah.
Tootsie's backyard honey. And see what it did? See how it's crystal down here and not up top. Now, this is in Pinson, Alabama, I guess that is.
Anderson.
So that's near, is that near Greg, I think, or Tootsie's Backyard Bees? I think it may be.
Bruce?
And who is it?
Bruce
not
is
Bruce,
in
not Bruce,
Alabama.
not Bruce, not Greg. And that's probably Tupelo. Is that right? Does he get a lot of Tupelo down there?
He talks about Tupelo, yeah.
So this is probably the Tupelo honey at the top and whatever other honey down here in their blend and what they mix in their tank.
Yeah. Interesting.
I had a jar that lay on its side for a period of time inadvertently.
Nice.
And it did that. It granulated perfectly halfway. So then when I stood, and it was perfect so that the label was perfectly on the face, so the granulation line went straight through the label from top to bottom, and so you stand that jar up and I took a picture of it and put it as a gag on my website that we're now producing jars of honey that are half creamed and half liquid in the same jar
That's kind of cool,
because
actually.
it looked so perfect that it was right perfectly down
Oh wow.
in the center of the label.
Yep.
Somebody
Wow.
actually ordered one. I had to break it to them that it was a gag.
Should have just sold it. Here you go.
You could
Kinda
have
like
just sold it to them.
Goober.
Yeah, they wanted like a half a
Butter
dozen.
jelly in the same jar.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. Like the two pints that I have, that I mean, I just have them sitting in a window, just kind of as decoration, I guess. But I should open them up and try them just to see what they taste like. So
I have a 2016 honey. My 2016 honey was highly dominated by sweet clover,
Hmm.
and that jar has granulated twice since 2016. Wow. It takes about a year and a half for it to granulate.
Wow. Yeah, I still have. Well, I've got a little jar of my first honey harvest ever from 2017. So, and I open it up and I try it every once in a while. I don't want to, I don't want to keep trying it just because that's the last of it. So, I should get a smaller container just to keep like a 2 ounce or something of it, just so that I always have it, and just wax seal it, make it look nice. I don't know. So, yeah, that's that.
Get a little muff jar. Get a little muff jar and
I
put it in
should.
there, make it look real nice.
I should, yeah. I should just pick out a couple of my harvests and just make up a little jar and, yeah. But maybe one day. I don't know. So Todd done ran off. Yeah. Gentlemen, I think I have maybe about 5 more minutes left in me.
Same.
Thanks for doing this, Brian. This was a lot of fun.
I just, when we chat, hey, whose week is it next week and this kind of stuff, we got talking and it was like, oh crap, I got stuff popping up and this is popping up, and I wasn't going to do a live, and I just thought, you know what the heck.
Oh, if you would have, I would have.
See? There it is.
So what you're saying, Brian, is this is the stream team B team.
No, this is
the off-stream team.
The off-stream team.
Yeah. Welcome to the off-stream team. Right.
Welcome back to
the off-the-wall brown starfish team.
Exactly. Yes.
Starfish team.
Oh my.
No.
That
I've
is
been selling honey all day. It just hasn't stopped.
What have you been doing?
I have a Facebook neighborhood group, and this morning I put on,
it works
honey
good.
for sale. It's been all day. Either they're messaging me or
that's the only way I sell my honey is on the local Facebook group, and
it's
you
great.
put a picture up there, man. People stop and drop their cash.
So my next trip out to Blue Sky, because I was going to get Steve, I'll see you, buddy. I was going to order from Amazon, like, honey for sale, the good little signs.
The one I got is like 2 for $25 if you sit in the yard.
I was going to get the same exact ones, but now they have it's like $15 or $16 shipping on top of that. Well, I can go to Blue Sky and get honey for sale signs out there for $15. So I'll end up saving myself $10, getting 2 signs, and I'm going to put one out front over there and put one out by the drive. And
but it's the $500 in gas you're going to have to spend to get the Blue Sky.
No, I think it takes me 26 or 27 minutes to get to Blue Sky. They're close. Yeah.
DC's wanting me to go on a late night beekeeping with Bob tonight.
There you go. Do it. Yeah.
One of the reasons why I jumped in is because I heard Santa Claus Beekeeping won the Brown Star thing, but I You know, I was about 10. I don't know how long or how far behind I was, but I was jumping in and out of the car. And
I heard, somewhere, and this is all hearsay, whatever, you know how information gets when it flows downstream, it gets all mixed up. But I heard that Santa Claus Beekeeping specializes in brown starfish honey.
well, I'm a little confused on who that is at the moment. So,
Well,
I get your drift. Did you trademark it though? Is it trademarked?
I was going to ask who owns the rights to Santa Claus.
Yeah. That's the question.
I mean, I would think that Santa Claus Beekeeping would be open. You probably could.
Yeah.
I could probably get a website.
I'll have to buy the domain name right now. So
yeah, www.santaclausbeekeeping.com. And that'll take you to Castle Hives.
Hey, Richard says, love it. My first hive after studying bees for 50 years. Good job.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Hey, I put in hashtag bourbon barrel. Did I win that?
What, the bourbon barrel?
Todd, when you come out, we'll just buy a 2-gallon bourbon barrel with bourbon in it.
All right.
And we'll have some we're calling it on our channel the KFC, Kentucky Fried Conference. So that'll be the KFC after party. Kentucky bourbon. Brown Star Apiary.
Barrel with the bourbon in it, you won't care that there's no honey in it.
Right.
That's a good one.
That is awesome. If I ever change
taking BS honey.
If I ever change my name, it's going to be Brown Star Apiaries.
Brown Star Apiaries.
Look at that. It costs a penny.
Oh, there you go.
Then you buy it.
Hey, you know what? Buy it right now, Brian, and then I'll tell you why. I'm serious. Okay, I'll say it right now. Someone will buy it. You can bottle honey during Christmas or sell honey during Christmas with the Santa Claus label.
Yeah. That's not me doing it. It's going to be it's Jason up there. He just got the idea. Look at this. He's going to do it. Santa Claus Beekeeping. That's awesome.
Santa Claus Beekeeping.
That is awesome. Jason, you realize this needs added on to something like Santa Claus Beekeeping, and it takes you to the Queen Right dial.
There you go.
It would have to. That's awesome. That is awesome. A penny. How can Santa Claus Beekeeping be only a penny?
Could it not be trademarked already?
Yeah. I mean, I better watch out because brown starfish, hashtag brown starfish is probably trademarked right now. So
it takes a while to get the trademark. You could file it, and then you got to wait.
Yeah.
You're probably safe on that unless it's already filed.
Well, yeah. That's awesome. Well, gentlemen, Bob is going to go live right after this. So,
okay. So come on over.
Yeah, people jump over to Bob's because I have stuff that I got to get done. So I'll probably just tune in and I'll be like the stalker like I normally am and just listening.
So we should have a No Life Beekeeper chat after this No Life Beekeeper chat?
Yes. So,
just for your information, there is no brown starfish apiary trademark.
There you go.
Just for anybody that wants to know.
Yeah, that could be like a good gag honey jar, you know. So, Russell, you take care, buddy.
Be a very interesting label.
Yeah. Mine, you know what I did with? Did you see what I did with my labels this year?
No.
Let me grab one. Puppy is going nuts downstairs. It's hilarious.
Is 3D printers. I don't see any coonrite dials going over there.
Hey, brown starfish honey is available also.
So I did here. Let me see if I can get this. I did. Oh, there we go. So I got those labels that have my website in that, but then I did the QR code
Yeah.
on the back. So it's got the nutrition label, but then the QR code takes you right to my website.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
If you I keep meaning to send you, Brian, the website. Let me see if I can scan it really quick. Does it do it on here? It won't do it on here, will it?
How small can a QR code get?
Pretty small. Like, because this one's only like a half an inch by half an inch.
Oh, okay.
And I'm on my phone right now. Watch. If I go on my phone real quick, and I don't know if you guys can see this or not.
I mean, the one that's on here, it's bigger than half inch.
This is what opens when I click my code right here. See that?
Oh, wow.
And look, it has all my socials. And it says, welcome so far, da-da-da-da. It has everything down below it. And you can scroll and you can put your website.
I need to
TikTok,
do that.
It's in the name of the company that does it. Hold please.
I need to do that. Like my next batch of QR code labels. I need
QRcode.de.
Dot what?
Hold on. I'll type it in.
DE.
QRcode.de. Website.
You know, I'm looking at this jar here, and that thing is like crystal clear.
I like that label, though, Brian. That's pretty cool.
You know, I got those little QR code ones on Etsy, and it was cheap. It wasn't much at all. They print on the bottom of it also, like what the site is. Like it has on there, you know, HTTPS, blah, 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 you know, thecastlehives.com. So it's right listed on there as well. So, and they were fast. Like when I literally ordered those, I think I had them here at the house in it was like 4 or 5 days. It was quick.
You know, there's another good tidbit too. If you haven't Googled your
I can't put that in the chat for some reason. I don't know why I can't chat. So I just put it in the in the private chat. So just paste that in the comments because I can't for some reason. It doesn't. I don't have a way to chat.
If you haven't Googled your own apiary business and claimed it off of YouTube off of Google, I get more people that just Google beekeepers or honey and they get my information. They can call me directly, and just another avenue to not have to go search customers where they're searching for you, right?
Yeah.
100% right, Bob.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised how many you get. I've got a swarm in my bush. Can you come and shake it out or get it?
So look, I mean, it's over on Google over here. It's got everything that goes to YouTube videos that pop up. It has everything that's from history. Everything Bohemia Bees is all over Google when I type that in, Bohemia Apiary or Bohemia Bees.
Yeah.
Okay. Bohemia Apiary.
Yeah.
Gives them the location on the map and all that when you put in your address. So it's an effective tool that's free to use. So
you just got to claim your business. You put it in your and they do actually, in order to edit it, they send you like this card in the mail that you have to have a unique code on to that address. And if you receive it and open it up, it has a code that you go back in and verify that it's you at that address.
Oh, okay.
And so in order to edit the Google Maps sort of location to say that, yes, that's me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, I have that site now. I'm going to have to do that. And then maybe my next ones, you know, I could always order. I think for these ones here, I think I got 1,000. So once I rip through those, then maybe my next batch of 1,000 will be that code and I can set that up. Because if I have it go to everything, you know, go to my YouTube, go to the website, I mean, that's pretty much all I have. Yeah, that'd be good. But gentlemen, unfortunately, I have to say goodbye. So
It's been
But
fun.
it's been fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for popping on. So I said I was gonna, like I said, I was only gonna do an hour, but here we are, 2 hours. So everybody, go over to Bob's channel because he will have a live going in probably a matter of a minute.
As soon as I use the restroom and grab another drink,
Brad, point
get right on it.
Yeah.
left, Brad. Point left. Point left, Brad.
This guy.
Him.
Yep.
Over here.
Yeah,
That guy right there.
Buckwheat Bob. Buckwheatbob.com.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that available? Buckwheatbob.com?
Oh my.
Hold on, looking.
Oh my.
I bet it is.
Bob's your uncle.com.
I love
You
it.
gentlemen have a good one. Everybody, thank you for the super chats and thanks for
Buckwheat
tuning in.
Bob. Buckwheat Bob is
Is it
already
available?
taken.
It's
No,
taken.
it's
There is
$70.
there's an original
It's
Buckwheat Bob out there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
registered it.
$70
And I
if you
I
want
will
them to try to
negotiate.
fight for it.
Oh, Brad was buying it before he said
I
it.
bought it, and I'll negotiate if you want it.
He'll sell
I
it for
bought it
$2
for a penny.
grand.
Oh man.
He'll gladly get rid of it for $2 grand.
You know, and that's funny because when I did my website, I looked for the .com, and .com was like $1,600, but .co was
Yep.
a penny, so I went .co with it. You know,
Yeah.
of course, then a lot of people, I can't get it. Well, I bet you there's an M
Yeah.
after there. You know, just out of
Well,
habit.
I have to register too. I have to register .com and .ca because
Oh,
.ca is correct, but I have to register .com because people will always type .com,
Right,
so it has to go to the same place.
and
Yeah.
redirected.
well, everybody, till the next time.
Good
Take
night.
care, everybody.
I will see y'all.
Have a good night.
Bob, I'll be listening.
All right, brother.
I'll talk to you all.
See.
All right. Good night.